Welcome back to Business News. The Attorney General Justin Muturi has told Parliament's Energy Committee that the State Law Office was sidelined in the deal between the independent power producers and Kenya Power and Lighting Company from inception, which could have led to the high power prices owing to lack of an exit clause. Jimmy Mbogo now puts together the account of the Attorney General and his advice to the committee to find a lasting solution for the law that continues to cost Kenyans dearly.
The dealings between Kenya Power and Lighting Company and the independent power producers continues to be a thorn in the flesh of Parliament's Energy Committee, which saw them seek advice from the country's top attorney to understand the legal and financial liabilities that the country could shoulder should they recommend the termination of the contracts. Much to their dismay, the Attorney General did not have the solutions they sought, telling the committee that neither he nor his office had seen the contracts to understand the legal ramification of the decision.
I came to say that at this point we are not in a position to give the legal implications of a termination or a takeover because we are not in possession of the agreement, and we are also not in the know as to where the negotiations which are said to be intermittent, where they have reached.
Muturi further dismissed claims by the registrar of companies who told the committee that owing to the timing of the registration, they could not work backwards to provide the beneficial owners of the IPP companies in question because they were incorporated before the 2015 Act that requires all foreign and domestic companies which desire to operate in Kenya to be registered. Muturi further insisting to the legislators that the Act of 2015 requires all companies to declare who the beneficial owners are, failure to which they should be reported to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation for contravening the law.
In pursuit to know directors of some of these companies, we hit a dead end. Like you say, we get ourselves into a situation similar to what you are in 20 years ago. How would your office be in a position to help us deal with that now?
Now, the companies in question here were formed before the new act, and they use that as the excuse not to dig further into getting us the information backwards. So probably, maybe you can advise us if you think it is also an avenue that we can direct the registrar of companies to require all the companies that were registered prior to the new Companies Act to provide such information.
The Companies Act 2015 is the law in operation. It binds all those people who are doing business here in the name of companies, foreign and local. And I think it is not open to the registrar of companies to appear before Parliament to say that that was done in the past. No. That if there is any such company which has not provided names of beneficial owners, it is in violation of the applicable law.
To safeguard the interests of the citizenry, Muturi further called on the MPs to ensure that they get hold of the contractual agreements between the Kenya Power and Lighting companies and the independent power producers in order to assess the legal and financial liability that the country faces and settle the matter, questioning what kind of contract could not have an exit clause.
What we've done over the past is a blanket statement that it will be too costly for the government. But we are not told costly how. What will we have breached? If, for instance, as you suggest, I've alluded to here, Mr. Chairman, in the letter, the government were to take over or even to terminate. How is it that you can have agreements that have no termination clauses?
In his submission to the Energy Committee, the Attorney General was quick to recuse himself and the State Law Office, saying that the State Law Office was ignored and sidelined in the power purchasing agreement, and therefore they cannot substantively give advice to the committee on what the cost of termination of these agreements would be. Jimmy Mbogo, KTN News, Nairobi.
Coming up in sports, Kenya women's under-20 national team Rising Starlets arrive in Angola for their second leg match against Angola.